Hey everybody, it is LSID932 on YouTube. Thank you so much for joining me. We are in a new year and new country. This is going to be Love is Blind Germany. But before we get into it, could you please like the video, share it with a friend, leave a comment below, hit that like, because I'm seeing 70% of the people coming through aren't even liking. They're staying for the whole video and not hitting the like. We just want the algorithm to let other people know we are here. So do me that great favor. That is a free way to show support. So again, we are getting a new stamp in our Love is Blind passport. We are headed to Germany. I'm excited. I've just seen the first 2 episodes. This is going to be a review for the first episode. And of course, I'm not going to leave you hanging. I will be recording the second one shortly after. So let's get into it. Let me grab my notes. So we find out that the host and hostess, they are a married couple. Okay. She is Steffi Brungs. Please, let me start by saying this. This review and recap is of an edited, translated show. So please forgive me if I say names incorrectly. Please forgive me if I don't get all the nuances. But if you are of German heritage or you know the culture, please leave it below and teach me. I'm here to learn. I'm here to learn. I so want to know so many fascinating things already with just this episode. So the host and hostess, married couple, both are sports journalists, but they've never worked together. This is their first project together. Imagine, it's not even sports journalism. So she is Stephanie Brungs. He is Chris Wakert Brungs. And I'm like, why is his name hyphenated? If you know why his name is hyphenated, did he take her name? I'm baffled by that, or did she just change her name and he just has a hyphenated name? Because I know some cultures, the men have hyphenated names. So let me know in the comments below. So we learn from the lounges in the introduction that the woman can propose. The German woman can propose. It's kind of like the Swedish woman too. They could propose. So, wow. So will we see any women proposing? It's a little different for me, stateside, US side. So Alina is the first lady we meet. She's asking star signs. And I'm like, are we at that already? Can we get away from that? Is that what y'all still doing? Meeting people? Like, what's your sign? What's your birthday? Could we get away from that? For me, it's low-hanging fruit. I'm sorry if you are into astrology like Alina is. I'm just not. So they show her on a rotation of dates with different men, asking signs and then asking birth dates. Give it up, Alina. So we meet Hanny. Hanny's 27. She's a real estate agent. She says she doesn't have any male friends because they sneak up and want more. Is that what men do? Is that what they do? Do they sneak up on folks and just sit there wanting more out of their relationship? Really? Is that what we doing? Is that what we doing? Men, speak up. German men. Is Hanny saying it correctly? So she said, men are usually distracted by her looks and they judge her. But she does love to laugh, but all the men so far are like, blah. You see her in the pod going, okay, blah. Like, do you like to shop? Yeah, blah. So we meet Daniel on a date with her. He is 25. He is a business consultant. He asked her about, talks. How do you talk? What kind of talks do you like? And she says she likes deep talks. And they just have a nice light banter because he's like, ooh, you're a real estate agent? I got friends that are real estate agents. I'm not sure about this. So she laughs, and she laughs a lot with him, and she loves it. We meet Hanny. She's on a date with Ilias, 26. He's a real estate agent. He said that they have, as real estate agents, come in to kind of break it all up, shake it all up. He does ask her about her goals. She wants to have children and open other businesses. And I was like, good there, Ilias. Ilias seems, what we saw was a really good dater in asking deep, light questions. He also makes her laugh Or I'm like, is he really making her laugh, or is she just open to laughter now that Daniel has paved the way? You tell me in the comments below. I just feel like she was just lighthearted and just chippery after Daniel, and Ilias just slid on in. See, she said sneaking up on you. She said sneaking up on you. So he likes that she's not arrogant, but she is charming. And she agrees that folks often think she's arrogant, but that's not who she is at all. And she does tell him, see you tomorrow. And he liked that date a lot. And you know, Netflix, no matter where we are in the world, they always hit you with a good old song lyric. The song is, I want to be the guy that you call up in the middle of the night. You can't call up in the middle of the night in the pods unless you call him for a date to be filmed. So next we see Ilias has a date with Alina, our local astrologer. Alina is 27 years old and she's in customer service. Now, y'all, everything is in German, including their positions and titles. So, you know, I had to go do the Google Translator to see what these professions are and typing it from German to English. So she's in customer service. He makes her laugh when, he walks in and he loves her giggles. Okay? So she says in the past, men were not that serious. He said he's always wanted to be self-employed. Remember, he's a real estate agent because his parents were also self-employed. They own a Greek restaurants. And her parents are also self-employed. So they kind of like have that kind of understanding as far as work and the ebbs and flows, I guess. So he makes her guess his star sign. I was like, Ilias, you knew she was the astrology girl and you made her guess. What if she guessed wrong? But she guessed right. She laid out, well, you're this and you're that and you got goals and you got this. And she guessed right. He's a Gemini like her. Don't know what it means. Gemini and Gemini, I don't know. Don't ask me. So he said he was scared of flying before all of this. She said she is too. He said, but the show got him on a plane because he said he cannot let the fear of flying stop him from, finding his love. I'm like, is this for real or are you using this against her? And I mean this really, really nicely. I don't know if any of the cast will ever see this. Ilias, you seem to be a very boy next door, guy next door look. You're not, the Superman chiseled jaw. So I'm wondering if you have some guile to you with dating. I'm watching you because you are just flowing through this a little too much for me. So they talk about spirituality, and he sees no problems or downsides with her. And I'm like, love is truly blind. Because Ilias, if you don't see issues with Alina at this point, dude, you are missing. You are missing it. She has flown some red flags for me that I'm like, dude. But hey, he is, maybe he too, like Hanny, he came off a wonderful date and now he's very open to the next person. So Alina goes that to the ladies' lounge and says he reminds her of her brother and his personality and mindset. Because when she said brother, I was like, wait a minute, does she cross him out? What in the incest is the possibility? But she's like, no, his personality, his mindset. And I'm like, girl. And I'm an only child though, but that whole brother thing, I don't know. It must be lost in translation. Okay? So we meet Sheila or Shella. I'm going to say Shella. She's 28 years old. She's a student and model. It takes time for her to open up, she says. Her ex asked her, why is it taking so long for her to open up? But she said she's built a wall from there. And Sheila did tear up about this, and I'm wondering if the ex wasn't very forceful in asking her to open up. And sometimes people need a gentle hand. You can't push someone into opening up to you. That's not going to happen. You can find out why, and if they're not going to open up, just leave. The door is an option. So Sheila has a date with Pascal. He is 32 and he's an IT project manager. I will again not tell y'all how this appears on the screen. I had to do the Google Translate to find out it's IT project manager. So she tells him she's originally from Togo, Africa. I'm like, girl, you are telling him what you look like on the slide. Shella, red flag on the play. You already not following the rules. You're already not following. I'm not saying all Africans are black people, but it's a high possibility, girl. You know this. So he surprises her, though. He said he was just in South Africa for 3 weeks. He just came back to come back to the show. And I'm like, She was surprised. She's like, oh. Now, I will be putting the photos up next to me so y'all see what folks look like. Okay? And you will understand why, even though she heard his voice, she's like, oh, okay. But he doesn't like traveling alone, Pascal says. He, is also reserved in new groups, and he doesn't need an audience. She needs time, to open up, and he needs time to himself sometimes, I guess, to recharge his battery is how I'm feeling it. It's like everything ain't a show to be on all the time. He said his parents are his role models. They showed him that marriage can last. But your parents been together since they were teens. That's what you said. So it can last if it started back then. That's all I'm saying. But I get your point, Pascal. Pascal and Shella, one of my favorites, but it's like, a little too early to tell. So Shella has a date with Fabio. Fabio is 33. They say he's flight dispatch. So I'm thinking he's, the tower that tells planes they can go or not. But I'm not sure. They say the translation says flight dispatch. Shella tells him that she has been single for a year. He's been single for 5 years. Fabio? 5 years? 5 years? So he's not found the one, but he wants it to be a big bam. Okay? It's 100% or none at all. And I'm like, does he need fireworks? Does he need a fairy tale? Because that seems to be a whole lot. You, sir, seems like you want, the bells and whistles. What happens when it's just chill? Can you just chill? So he bought a house with his brother, and his mom lives upstairs. He has an apartment in the house. And the brother is married and has a kid. Okay? Shella thinks it's so sweet. Now put in the comments below, because I know in the Americana, unless it's a multi-family household or multi-family building, it's frowned upon for families to buy real estate. Now here's a little secret. I have a few friends in Germany. They tell me this is usual. Families do purchase together and they do live in the same home. Hey, I have no problem with that. However the dynamics work, just make sure you fit in your love, your kids. Hey, it's like mama's there. Mama's built-in babysitter. Y'all are there. Y'all are built-in caretakers for mama. Come on now. It's a win-win. Shella thinks it's so sweet that he has the apartment and the main side of the house. The brother is there with his kids. She thinks it's great that families are together. And she says, she wants time before kids, but not 5 years. Okay? He says he wants to have time with his spouse before he has kids. We'll see. But Shella says she likes that he knows what he wants. Okay? Fabio then has a date with Alberta, 25-year-old student. Let me tell you something. And I didn't say it with Shella because I was waiting for Alberta. The melanin is popping on this show. My sisters, my black sisters, y'all are absolutely gorgeous. I'm like, this is what's in Germany? The black man too. Y'all, the brothers, y'all look it is like model. Everybody looks so great. This is what Germany is giving y'all. I'm married, so y'all can go visit Germany. So as I said, Fabio has a date with Alberta. She's a 25-year-old student. He tries to guess her looks based on her name. He's like, oh, but you must be Colombian. You could be this, you could be that. She's like, I've been told every and anything. So basically she's telling you, the men who have bored her these past few dates have been trying to guess what she looked like based on her name. Okay? So they have a good banter. She said she is, now more feminine because he says he does sports, he boxes. She's like, she used to do track and field, but she stopped it to be more feminine. He's like, oh, you were into boys. I cracked up. Fabio, too funny. So we move away from Fabio and Alberta, and we go to Marcel. He is 34, marketing manager, social media. He is vegan. He believes in a sustainable lifestyle. He pays attention to what he puts in his body. He is also religious. He has a charity that cooks and feeds the homeless. So we have an idea of Pascal. I see Pascal as a very, at peace and one with the universe type person. Okay, Marcel. He has a date with Jen, who is 30. She's a health manager fitness. That's what the Google Translate told me, y'all, when I translated the title from German. So he goes on a 10-day spiritual retreat every year. Is it the same place, Marcel? What are we talking about, spiritual retreat? What exactly is at this retreat? But I applaud you. The 10 days, ooh, I hope it don't cancel out social media because I would just about pass out. So they talk more about meditation and they like each other's voice. They had a good banter. They seem to be on the same level with each other. But I tell you, she did not give me the whole vegan and sustainable lifestyle, card. She didn't give me that. So then we meet Tolga, 33, insurance agent. Y'all, Tolga is a piece of work. Tolga is a piece of work. He said he may look like an F-boy, but he's not one. Why would you say it, Tolga? Why would you even put it in our minds that you may be an F-boy? You're a good-looking man, Tolga. I will give you that. You are a good-looking man. You have a nice, deep voice. But why would you say that? Because you've been F-boying around. That's why you said that. You know what you're doing. He said he's been judged by his looks and he wants a woman who will like him for who he is. Okay, Tolga, I hear you. But what you are is a smoker. I'm guessing cigarettes. And what the ladies are saying one after another, we saw it like, nope, that's a no for me. Nope, that's a deal breaker. Can't do it, won't do it, Tolga. Tolga, you're going to have to put them cigarettes down, my boy. I only say that because he said he was an F-boy. I don't like calling men boys, but he said F-boy. So Tolga has a date with Hannah, who's 28, social media marketing. She's never been in a relationship where she sees a future. She usually dates macho men, but that has not worked. Tolga says she's looking for a nice jerk. Maybe that's him. You see, Tolga, you told us you're not that F-boy, but you're giving us F-boy responses. I'm watching you, Tolga. So the next day, we see that Hanny and Daniel are having a date. Okay? Daniel opens up and says that he was overweight as a kid and he wasn't comfortable with it when he got older and he changed it. So Hannah says she should focus on how she feels, but still is thinking of his looks and she needs to shut that off in her mind. So he says that intimacy plays a big role, especially in attraction. And this can't work if he's not attracted to her. He needs immediate passion. Why am I putting on a French accent? This is Germany. He needs immediate passion. But she says she's never said I love you to a man. And that perked Daniel's ears up. She says it's a big step for her. She said in her first ever relationship, the gentleman cheated a lot and she was hurt. And he did something Daniel did something that I found was very emotionally intelligent. He says, wait a minute, before she continues speaking, he's like, I need to let this sink in. That you have never said I love you to a man. He's like, this could be a problem, but I need to absorb this right now. And he just sat there and absorbed it. And, he thanked her for opening up to him. And she thought this is the end. Daniel didn't want nothing to do with her, but we shall see. Hanny has a date with Ilias, and he says no woman talks openly about likes and dislikes in intimacy. They have a banter. They want to see each other. And I think she was more open to him again because, hey, Daniel may be out of the picture. Hanny, I feel like you're bouncing around just anywhere that has a soft landing. Uh, that's just my thought on an edited show. So the song they play for Ilias and Hani is "I'm Falling for You." So while they're going back to the lounges and sharing their dates, the men don't share names. The men say, "I had a great date," but the women are sharing names. The women are talking, and I'm like, girls, hush, don't tell who you're dating. But the women are talking. So next we go on a date, Ilias and Alina. She said she didn't get much sleep last night. Mm. And then he turns it around as to, well, what do you wear when you sleep? See, Elias, I'm watching you. You're missing the point. Her thing is not to talk about what she sleeps in. She's trying to open up to you. But he says he loves her attitude towards life, but he feels this is too good to be true. It's a lot. And there's no sure thing, and nothing is perfect. But he doesn't see anything wrong with her. Get Ilias. You don't see it. You don't see it. Ugh. I wonder if this whole horoscope head in the clouds, Alina, she's giving me I just want to be married and belong to someone. And it's giving me, I hate to say it, it's giving me stage 5 clinger. That's what it's giving me. I'm not saying that this is her. This is all, of course, a recap for entertainment purposes only. This is translation upon translation. But Alina is giving me stage 5 clinger. I just want to be married. So next date is Sheila and Pascal. Shella. Apologize, Shella. She said, it's hard, is it hard to show your vulnerable side? And he said, yes, because as a man, he is taught to keep it all in. I love how these men are just opening up. They're just telling it like it is. So he asked her the same question, and she said it depends on the other person and if she can trust him. She said she ignored her gut feeling in the past, in the last relationship, and that was a mistake. There was a lot of cheating in that relationship. He says, does she now know what type of man she wants? She's like, yes. And he's like, he needs an emotional person to get him to open up. Now, Pascal, I got to call a timeout on this. Why do you need an emotional person to get you to open up? Why can't you just open up? Their emotion shouldn't pull yours out. Just some food for thought. So Alberta has a date with Fabio. I'm sorry, y'all. Alberta is absolutely gorgeous. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I love Alberta. You are my fan favorite, Alberta. I'm sorry. It may be that you could be a little sister to me or something, but I just love Alberta. So she says she's been single since January 2020. She's not had a date for over a year, but she is touchy-feely. And he says, hey, if I walk by, say you're beautiful, hold your hands, hug, would that be okay? And she loves that. So he says she's the youngest. So what makes her think she's ready for all this? She says she wants to have her kids young. And she wants a stable environment before having kids. And she said he's not the youngest. So why does he? He laughs about it. We are not shown his answer. He laughs about, oh, you making jabs at my age? So again, Fabio, you deflecting. You asked the young lady a question, and I'll dive further into her answer. But you deflected, Fabio. You did not answer as to why at your grown age, you're not already married. Why are you here? So she says she wants to have her kids young. But at the same time, she says she wants a stable environment for them. Girl, those are two completely different things. You're so young, you're not in your career, you're a student. How can you provide a stable environment? Does that just mean married mom and dad? Or does that mean household expenses, everything is taken care of? There's some savings. What is your definition of a stable environment, Alberta? I know you talked about a married couple, but that's not all that needs to be stable. That's not all. And having kids young, for me, it ain't a reason. But she's 25. Hey, I had my first kid at 24, and I was married. So who am I to judge with Alberta? So we have Hanny and Daniel have a date. He wants to understand more why she has not said I love you yet to someone. She does leave him a ring in his pod. I was like, oh my God, Henny's going to propose. Henny's going to propose. You're going to have a first proposal. It's going to be a woman. No. No, that's not what's happening. Her parents were separated, she says, when she was about 17, 18. Her dad left, and it was tough for her mom. And she helped her mom a lot. And the mom used the last of her money to buy Hanny that ring. And she has never taken it off. And it's rare for her to let her guard down, but she's letting it down with Daniel. He, says, do you think you can open up to me? Do you think you can possibly get to the point of saying you love me? And Hanny says yes. She says she could say it. And, he says he can't live without that. He needs someone who will say, I love you. It's important to him. She says she's 100% sure of her feelings for Daniel. So then we go to Ilias and Hanny. So Hanny is already telling Daniel, you the one for me. I mean, she left the ring, but she didn't propose, okay? That's a little iffy. But I understand what you were doing, Hanny. It's like, let Daniel know you are open to receiving a ring from him. So Ilias and Hanny have a date. He likes the date and wants her to be honest. She says she can't be with two people at the same time. I'm like, girl, this is a show. Hanny, this is the show. What do you mean two people? You just dated 15. You just dated 15 people. Come on now. But you can't be with two people at the same time. And we're ashamed. He says it'll be a shame not to talk more. She's like, hey, yeah, okay, good. Take care of yourself. I'm like, there had to be more conversation. And I know it was edited out. Because the way it just abruptly went from, hey, I would like to talk to you more, or I'd like another chance to talk to you. And she went, okay, good, take care of yourself. That was a little too fast. It was a little too fast. It was cut off. You could see that. So then we see Jen has a date with Marcel. Remember, Marcel is our resident vegan. Jen is our fitness manager. He said he misses physical contact. Because of the pods, we have that wall between them. He can't see, he can't touch. Marcel, I'm worried. You're missing physical contact. I'm worried. I'm hoping it's like your oneness with the earth type of physical contact, not that you want to be laid up with someone. She says she's been single for 10 years. She had a bad relationship. He treated her badly, and she needs time before letting someone in. This was her only relationship. I was golly. Germany, please, anyone who knows German culture. How is it so many people, like they're in their 30s and late 20s, and they've only had one relationship? Are they playing me? Are they playing the show? They've only had one relationship, and they're like 30-something, lower 30s, upper 20s. Do people in Germany not date regularly, or do people in America just date too much? So she says that she can open up to him because he seems more grounded. That's that 10-day retreat, Jen. He said his childhood was not great. Y'all, Marcel opened up, and what Marcel had to say was a lot. He said his childhood was not great. His biological father left the mother before she gave birth to him. But he does have, I guess it's an older brother. He said the neighbor called Child Protective Services. His mother was incarcerated, and he went to foster care. He and the brother. He said he was told every day that he was a foster kid. And you could tell Marcel had a hard life and hard time with that. Now, full disclosure, my husband was raised in a very loving foster home, foster family. But very aware that that is not the case for a lot of people. I appreciate Marcel opening up this conversation to the world, and I probably will do separate videos for some of the points people are bringing up in this Love is Blind. But I want to know, in Germany, because in the United States, for a parent, for the mother to be incarcerated, it had to be severe neglect. I'm wondering if that's the same in Germany. And Marcel, I wonder what your relationship with your mother is now. And do you have a relationship with your brother? Where y'all, it doesn't seem y'all were kept together. Because it seems like you weren't treated the best and you were thought you were an outsider a lot. I really feel for Marcel on that. So any kind of laughter I have with Marcel, it's all in good fun as with everybody, but I really felt this story for him. I wanted to learn more. So then we have Hanny and Daniel. He said he never thought he would meet someone he is so comfortable around. She knocks his socks off. Daniel proposes, y'all. We have our first proposal, our first couple, because she says yes, and she is screaming. I'm like, girl, everybody is hearing what's going on in the pods. If you have seen my review of Love is Blind Habibi, one of the guys in the men's lounge was yelling out he loved the girl, and she heard him in the women's lounge. So Hanny screaming in these pods, I am sure everybody's hearing her. So we head straight to the reveal. I love it, Germany. I love that we ain't gotta wait. Episode 1, we have a proposal and we have a reveal. And Henny looks amazing. Her slit goes all the way up her thigh. So we're there, they're talking, confessional, their anxiety is going up. What is going to happen? Are they going to like what? Is Daniel going to like me? Is Hanny going to like me? And the doors open, and that's the end of our episode. Please join me for episode 2, where you find out if Hanny and Daniel like what they saw when the doors opened. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel.